And we're back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out today on Road to SDAT. The next run that we have is the highly anticipated Mega Man X4 Ultimate Armor Any Percent run done by the one, the only Tempest Mask 1000. Tempest, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you for asking, and hello to all my friends and fellow gamers out there. It's always good to be doing a speed run for Speed Dots, and we are here at the Road to SDAT, bringing you a little bit of what, Mega Man? So in the meantime, I hope you all enjoy what I have to showcase, because this here is indeed... Wait, actually, let's let the intro do its little thing. Mega Man X4. So, yeah, shenanigans aside, this is personally one of my favorite speed games to run among the mainline Mega Man games. I'm also somebody that does run Mega Man X7 and X8, and you better believe that among all the things that I have speedrun with, this is probably the easiest one for anybody to get into. But we're actually going to be doing a category that y'all have so graciously met at the last minute, and is the very reason why it took us a while to get this thing set up. We're going to be doing the not 100% run, the any percent run with the Ultimate Armor, which means you actually have just put in for an incentive that's technically faster than what I was supposed to show. So I hope you all are looking forward to the shenanigans that are about to ensue. But with that in mind, before we start things off, I'll have my commentators quickly introduce themselves. I am joined by OG Happy Dude and the Sid.
Hello, I am OG Happy Dude. I run X4, but I kind of cheat using the Legacy Collection and use Rookie Hunter, so this is going to be very foreign and new.
Hey. I'm the Sid. I haven't run this game in quite a while. This is the second time Tempest has pulled me out of the retirement home. He's going to get better be careful next time, or I might break a hip.
You're not going to hear the last of me, and you know that, Sid.
But yeah, I did do some X4 hundo, so I'm a bit familiar. Ultimate Armor is an interesting deviation of the route, so I'm pretty excited to see this and do my best to keep you guys in the loop as well.
This should be very interesting. I will also say, though, that I am running this off of the X Legacy Collection. So, for those who don't know, we do time this a little differently from the main game on PS1. We're going to start the timer, though, very shortly, and hope that I get this code right. Because if we don't get it right, I will have to go back to the title screen real quick.
Yeah.
But we'll start
notice
the timer.
Notice X's colors here.
Yeah, notice his colors. If it changes, we're good. All right. So... the code in mind is circle, circle, left, 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 left 1, right 2, and then 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and with that...
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Not yet.
So here, this is always the same color since it's more of a cutscene than anything.
Ready.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay. I'll have to try one more time right there. So, actually, no, I don't have to press that button in order to X out. I think you can just press select. Oh well, Legacy Collection wants me to use the in-game menu. Oh well.
Yeah, so the PlayStation version had a button input, push to one of the face buttons twice, then left 6 times, hold L1 and then R2. But it's a little bit different now that it's on like multiple different platforms, so it gets a little bit skewed sometimes. It's easy to mess it up.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, the Ultimate Armor is a super upgrade of like your normal armor. Luckily, you can get it like really quick, so that's why it's going to make this even better.
There we go.
There we go. Just wanted to show you the color difference. You see both palettes?
This is not the first time I botched that code live for a marathon, though. Shout out to my good buddy Insta for Insta Speedathon. That was such a fun time, though, and I had such a wonderful commentators for that run as well. So I'll start things off by immediately giving props to Yato Gamianel, Ultra Uberness, and, of course, my good pal Chair G-Tables. And with that, we are currently off into the Sky Lagoon. This stage is actually interesting because between X and Zero, they have different themes going for them. So this is my personal favorite of the two. Zero does have a pretty nice theme that kind of follows his victory victory theme motif. I'm pretty sure this one tries to go for the same idea as well. So the both characters here have their own motifs in the music, which is pretty cool. And I'm already beefing up the movement, so oops.
This good, like, really high tier runners will make this look like it's just, you can do this in your sleep, but this movement is actually a little bit difficult. A lot of the previous X games, you would just dash on the ground, like, okay, I'm just gonna dash, and then chain it into another dash, easy peasy. The problem is, in the PS version, they added a couple of frames before you actually start dashing if you do a regular ground dash. So we get a dash hop, which makes movement in this quite a bit more difficult than the SNES versions, where it's dash and jump out of it.
And now onto our intro boss, Eregion. Happy Dude, do you want to talk a little bit about this big guy?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if I could talk less, I would.
So effectively, all that this is basically jumping and shooting. When it comes to the version that I particularly run, the vanilla version is a lot slower with charging. Bosses take a lot more hits. So as you can see, it probably took a little bit longer than what I'm personally used to, but we got through it without much of a problem. Effectively, if he flies over, just dash underneath him, turn around, and just continue to pop the Dargon until he's down.
Yeah. Because the thing about Eregion's iframes is that they're very fast, and this won't be the only time we see that within a boss either. So this should be a good example of how instantaneous the half-charge shot is in the normal gameplay, and give you a good idea as to how effective it can be as well as a full charge shot, per se.
For those that are more familiar with the SNES trilogy, the charge shots are much more important here because you can't do the dash lemon trick to get an extra damage on your regular shots. You actually have to charge everything up. And it's going to be even more important with the ultimate armor because it kind of gives us a jank buster that does some interesting things, but it's not really good at killing bosses. It's much more better for enemies and sub-bosses.
I'm just going to focus a little bit because I actually really have to play at my best with this stage, so...
Yeah, hitting the S ranks is important here.
I'm going to give myself a bit of focus time, per se. Because this next one is where I normally want to have the soul body weapon from Split Mushroom.
And it can delete these little orbs here to make this movement a lot easier. So as of right now, we've got to be very careful about it. They'll grab you and hold you still for a bit, and getting through this stage in a certain amount of time with a certain amount of damage leads to these higher ranks, so that you can pick up these upgrades. Normally for Hundo, we would take a completely different route to avoid as many revisits as possible. But the way that Ultimate Armor works is the first weapon capsule we get is going to just give us all our armor pieces immediately. So I'm assuming the optimization of the route is to get the armor here first, so you don't have to go out of your way to get the armor from anywhere else. You take a little bit of a damage boost there to make sure the yellow orb doesn't grab us and hold us still.
And that's the last time we'll be seeing them. I like to call those devil orbs, by the way, because they kind of sort of remind me of a yellow devil.
Yellow devil. Yeah, I can see that. They're just as torturesome because you have to wait for Yellow Devil to give you the opportunity to attack.
One nice thing about the armor collection for the Ultimate Armor is that it's actually a little bit different. You noticed a bit of a sparkle as the whole entire thing spawned on there. If this were collecting the individual pieces, though, you actually get to see something a bit different, which also includes a nice little animation to remind X of the armor parts that he could have in the future, which I really do like that.
The armor in 4, 5, and 6 kind of are all over the place. Some of them have additional armor, some of them you start with it and then it breaks, depending on the way you play the game. There's a lot of unique armors for the PlayStation Trio versus the SNES Trio, which is basically the same thing with slight modifications.
Right. With that, we're moving into our first of the Mavericks. This is Cyber Peacock, and you're going to be seeing... Well, okay, because we got the Ultimate Armor, you're going to be... I'm just spoiling the surprise. We're going to be using our ultimate weapon constantly. The Nova Dash, or Nova Strike, rather.
That real unique, like, air dash he's doing, where he kind of turns yellow and T-poses for dominance. Well, I guess it's technically an A pose, but you usually only get one of these, and the bar has to recharge. But with the ultimate armor, that's the gimmick, is you get infinite. So it can make this game a lot more fun, if not a bit lopsided in favor of the player.
Yeah, normally you would use mushrooms
With
power
Buddy.
to just melt through it.
Yeah, a lot of the bosses you would use the weakness. This one's a weird one where you kind of like would split between using split body and buster shots. But luckily we don't have to worry about any of that shenanigans. We can just melt him with the Nova Strike.
Now, a little something as we go through the run. I'm actually mashing a button to ensure that I'm skipping the "you got" aiming laser prompts and stuff like that, because obviously it's a minor time save, but if you're trying to go for a top time, it does add up, and the fact that they do give you this option is very well and good, so most speedrunners typically just go for that, all that. And then as for going through the text, that's considerably different compared to what the Super Nintendo games had, where in that case you could, say, hold the start button and fast forward through the text, but in this case I do have to mash.
Mashing, the nemesis of speedrunners everywhere.
It's not as bad because thankfully you get multiple face buttons and the shoulder buttons to do this, so I honestly think it could be way worse. But yeah, you get the overall idea on how I'm gonna be like. You're gonna see my fingers do a little bit of this and that here and there.
Do a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm totally
pianoing.
not taking notes for the 8 Mavs route.
Yeah, this is also one reason why I wanted to have Happy Dude on here. We are here for science.
Yeah, normally in Hundo, this would be the first place, because we'd have to come back here with a boss weapon to get the actual body armor. But because we only need to get one armor capsule, we don't want to bother with this one. It's way out of the way.
And I will not be bringing in the armor because I can just do this way more... not have to. Pretty much not have to worry about it.
Even without the ultimate armor, it would technically be faster to fight Magma Dragoon without the right armor you bring in here. But obviously, like, the Nova Strikes is just going to do way more here. And luckily we have enough HP to just kind of phase tank, even if we're a little bit too far left or right with the Novas.
Yeah, the thing is
Hayakuma,
that...
Bayakuma.
Yes. Hadouken, Shoryuken. No Shun Gokusatsu, though, unfortunately.
Did you know he is actually an X5?
Yes!
Wait,
Yes.
Akuma?
No, Dragoon.
Oh, okay, I was like, wait a minute, hang on.
Yeah, there's actually a practice stage that you can access from the main menu, and the boss is Magma Dragoon. It's a very weird one, because they've never really ever put a boss from a previous game directly in outside of the big bad Sigma.
Yeah, not in the case of the X franchise. Although, I mean, okay, but there's also Vile, but, like, yeah, aside from Vile.
There's the named characters, if you know what I mean, right? For sure. Vile's like touch and go, though. Sometimes he doesn't show up for, like, 6 entries, and then, you know, in X8 he just shows up, like, every other stage.
That's my favorite incarnation of him, by the way. I love the color green, and also he's got a super good voice actor in the English cast from Blue Water Studios, yeah.
X8's pretty solid across the board.
So the one thing I've noticed when it comes to the armor plus what I run with Rookie Hunter, the armor itself gives you about as much stability as Rookie Hunter mode does by itself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm not sure, like, what the numbers are, but I think Rookie Hunter is probably equal to having the armor immediately for the amount of, like, damage you can deal and how much defense you have.
Yeah, charge shots are faster, you have 99 weapon ammo, you have the option to, well, not option, rather, certain behaviors of the game also change. We'll absolutely be seeing, if I were doing Rookie Hunter, we would be seeing that in Jet Stingray. Bees, can you not?
Ooh.
Not the
So-
bees!
There's 2 different Buster upgrades in this game. When you go pick it up normally, if you're doing like a 100% route where you don't get the Nova armor, you actually have a choice between two, though the game doesn't really make that super clear to a newer player. When you actually get up into the Buster Room, assuming you actually can, because it's the most devious designed Buster upgrade chamber I have seen in pretty much forever, the series. There's two capsules, one at the very beginning, and if you jump over it, there's one at the back. And the Buster upgrade we have right now is the Plasma Buster that leaves these orbs. It's really neat at clearing enemies, but the fact is it only does like 1 damage when it ticks on a boss, so it is awful for boss fights. The other one that is normally at the very front is the Stalk Charge, so you can stalk up to 4 Buster shots, and you can do a lot of damage with that. Normally, we were trying to be going for a quick kill here with Nova Strike, but since we have Infinite, we can take a few tries at it unless that happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wasn't really getting a good, like, setup for that, and I got it maybe one time, but that's if I want to call myself gracious for what I did accomplish. Yeah, it could be better.
It's kind of a dice roll. Like, the thing is that he spawns in a random spot and then decides to come down. So you just need to kind of randomly throw out the Nova Strike and hope that he's in the right spot. Since he's off screen, you really can't tell where he is outside of the leaves falling from the top. So it can be very hard to get the instant kill, but we'll have another shot at it later.
One quick question that I was looking at, because it appears to me that after watching the stream feed, it looks like the Nova Strike hits on more than 1 frame.
It can, and you'll actually be seeing this when we get to the Colonel fight coming up. But for now, got Frost Walrus, and this is where I get to do a little ditty that was made famous from the earlier mentioned Chair G tables. I almost said Jer again. I swear, my vernacular is a lot better than I make it. Can I get up there, game? Come on.
You're being so stubborn about this. If we charge the fire here, we can just get a Shoryuken, which will get us where we need to go.
That is the worst kind of time loss. It's self-sabotage, and I hate it.
Yeah, the big thing is the helmet unit actually has a really unique effect. I'm pretty sure the ultimate armor carries it as well. The uncharged shots of a boss weapon is actually infinite.
Yes.
The only time it will use weapon energy is when you use a charged variation of it. So we do get quite a few of the uncharged shots, as long as we still have weapon energy. 1 is enough for an infinite amount. Unfortunately, we really need to use the charged Shoryukens here to kill the enemies really quick. This guy particularly.
But there's also the Nova as well. The Nova will come in handy if I have to, so let's see what happens. Yeah, that's the... Oh, wait, come on, really?
One frame of contact.
I was too confident. I was way too confident with that.
This is like one of those bosses where, like, on paper you think Plasma would go well, but he usually will grab it, close his hand, so you can't hit the orb anymore. So that mini-boss is annoying no matter what you do.
I did a little shot manipulation you just saw there to get that bomb to explode.
We lost your stream in chat. Is it still there in... Okay, it's still there on the Speed Dogs channel. Let's find out.
Hey, can I get the weapon tank? Thank you. Alright, I don't need that, but I usually get it as a safety precaution. Then again, that just lost me some time. Wait, I'm running ultimate armor. Why am I doing that?
That's a good question.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
Shaking my
a lot of these upgrades aren't, like, strictly necessary, but honestly, the final boss is a 3-phase gauntlet as normal, and it's not a very easy boss gauntlet to clear without a little bit of HP refills and some upgraded HP.
Yeah, the sub-tanks on health I'm going to grab. I already got one by mandate by the way Cyber Peacock stage works. The other one, we'll see what happens. It's not that necessary.
Sounds good.
Hi, Dad!
And...
Bye, Dad!
Another interesting gimmick here, too, is we actually have 2 buttons for Buster and Boss weapons as well. So we can charge Boss weapons or Buster at the same time, which is a pretty interesting little mechanic that they added on the PlayStation. They did a lot of nice things to take advantage of the extra buttons compared to the SNES.
Yeah, this is essentially a sister unit to that of Mega Man 8, which was the only PlayStation 1 Classic Series game. Personal favorite of mine, but like, yeah, it's one of those games that also had this feature included as well. And definitely one of the good things about it, alongside the Mega Ball in my opinion.
Ready.
Now we
We're
move
popping into the next stage here. Do you have time for some announcements and asking things from chat?
Absolutely, yes.
Fabulous. Okay.
Show me
Well,
what you've got.
so chat room. Thank you all for donating to, first of all, get the Ultimate Armor any percent. This has been super cool to watch so far, for something that I've just never seen before. But don't forget, we do also have a poll going on actively for the Ranger color for Power Rangers Time Force, which is coming up right after this, run by Cyanide Gunner and Doug's. Currently, yellow is in the lead with 10 points, and green is in second, or $10, excuse me. I guess that's points. And green is in second place with $5. The other three colors, red, blue, and pink, all have nothing. So if you want to go in there and snipe a color, please do so. It's super easy to overtake the first place right now. And in addition to that, we do still also have a larger target open for the bonus Imakuni fight in the Pokemon trading card game run that's going to be happening after Power Rangers, done by Toranite. So definitely get some donations in for that. Every little bit counts, and as mentioned, you can snipe any of the colors that you would like for Power Rangers for just $11. So definitely throw some cash towards Save the Children.
Thank you very much. Also, hi, Just Incredible in the chat. Very base gamer.
One of the bigger pillars of the community. Just is a fantastic guy.
Absolutely.
Did a lot of work on X3 back in the day, and I also have been running into him a lot because I was helping RPG Limit Break set up a SMRPG level 1 run, or low level run.
Yeah.
And Justin absolutely loves SMRPG, so I can't get rid of him at this point.
So I don't know if this is showing my age or not, but I just had a Google search if being based was a good or a bad thing.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm not gonna like completely dogpile on you because I've had to do the same thing before too. Google help me! I'm stupid.
Alright, so yeah, I got the second sub-tank, and that was an entire stage of nothing but the Ride Chaser. So the way we make that go faster is by mid-air dashing, because that allows the screen to scroll much faster. That's funny, though, that we now get to bring this up, because, yeah, I mentioned Rookie Hunter changes a few in-game behaviors. The scroll speed of that stage is much slower in Rookie Hunter. And I know that they did that so that it could allow, like...
Make it easier to do, yeah.
Yeah, easier.
In terms of a speed run, that must be just abysmal if you're used to normal speed.
Yeah, luckily the normal speed of the dash, I think, is, like, the same, maybe, from my trial attempt, anyway. So, it's the silver lining, I would call.
Yeah, so this boss is pretty abysmal. The weakness on Stingray is ice, and it'll just make him fall to the bottom of the water and then fly away immediately. Stock charge shot's really good for dealing damage here, but we've got Plasma Buster instead. So, like, our DPS is mainly Nova Strike, and getting in the right position to do Nova Strike over and over again without losing all your HP is kind of not that easy.
Yeah, not to mention that, like, getting the weakness on him is going to just lose you a little bit of time. It's funny to watch, and it's also good for getting the final hit as well, if you so wish to. But I definitely think that, like, the ex-devs, they must have had a little bit of Mega Man 1 on the mind, because it's the same reason why runners in X1 don't typically use Fire Wave on Chill Penguin. It's that very same logic, if you will.
Animation, yeah.
Funnily enough, by the way, we did forget to make a quick shout-out to, well, not just Frost Walrus, yes, but also the fact that Blizzard Buffalo from X3 and Chill Penguin do appear in the Area 1 background of the stage. You saw them encased in ice, or at least someone thought they did, but they thought it was Flame Mammoth, so I figured I'd bring that up real quick.
Oh yeah, a lot of the small, like, nods back to their older games. They do it every once in a while. They're not very straightforward with the hey, by the way, don't you remember? Pepperidge Farm remembers. not very often, but it happens.
The stage is a bit interesting, yeah. I'm just gonna Nova it. You know what? I'm just gonna Nova it.
There's so many different ways to deal with this. The way this is one of the old arguments for plasma shot.
Oh, that was the good cycle. Wow, yeah, that's good. That's good.
That was pretty solid, actually. But yeah, this boss, the mini boss, was one of the reasons people used to use plasma. It's very old strat though, like back to oh gosh, like early SDA days. Maiku Yama, one of the people that was initially involved with starting up GDQ, one of his older runs was that. And you'll find a very colorful history of like Mega Man X. There's been a lot of people in and out of the community on several different games, which is very nice. Always have a fresh face every once in a while, kind of reworking what we thought was good and being like, wait, no, this is better. I'm waiting for Plasma to make its comeback, but I don't think it ever will.
Yeah, Stock Shot is just way too good, unfortunately. But hey, this is the silver lining for, Ultimate!
You had me worried for a minute there.
You were worried. I was worried as hell.
Well, see, now I'm on stream delay, so when I hear you yelp like that, I think you went in the hole. I have to wait a good couple of seconds.
That's true.
Everything is clenched.
Yeah. I have never been this tense in years.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think it's a shame that my stream feed cut off somehow, because if it weren't for that fact, I would have totally switched it back on. But, like, the thing about the X Legacy Collection is that you click out of the window, it goes into out of focus mode. It automatically brings up the Legacy Collection menu, and I do not like that, and if anybody knows of a way to turn that off, I would appreciate that. Because the only other solution I can think of is, like, console version.
Hey.
Yeah, we got him. This is, that was Slash Beast, aka Not Sonic the Hedgehog. He has Spark Mandrill Syndrome. Shoutouts to Yatogami.
Justin, with the Mega Man X speed noises. You know, the way that I think of it is I call them BJW noises, because I used to watch BJW doing a lot of Mega Man X too. And, man, he would just make the... That man was a sound dispenser. He was a living onomatopoeia.
A living onomatopoeia. I love it. Split
Wait, you said that,
mushroom!
You said that Ultimate Armor was shorter run than Hundo, so... How much shorter is it?
We'll find out. Depends on if I get griefed by some of the bosses. But I would say the world record as of right now is, I'm pretty sure, a sub 38 from SC Weeb 1, aka Dante.
I would say the run's probably going to be around 30 to 40, because
one
of the big ones is we don't have to do Magma Dragoon twice. We also get to save a fair bit of time on the other 3 capsules as well, because those are fairly long. And then the less jingles that we have, the better. So we are grabbing a couple of the hearts for safety, so it depends on how many we decide to skip. The main thing is that... Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
The main thing is that we have Nova Strike to just absolutely myrtleize every boss. So, like, messing up the strat is a fair bit harder in Ultimate Armor. We would want to be using a lot of the Shoryukens to move vertically here a little bit easier, but we want to make sure we have enough for a skip coming up here as well, which we can only do with Nova Strike, which would be pretty scary with your regular armor if you're not used to it, but we got it one shot here. Nice.
Yeah, I've hardly messed up that skip in a while. I will say that it does take a little bit of getting used to, because the biggest downside of having the Nova Strike... Oh, I forgot to use Nova Strike up the stairs, because apparently this is the faster way of doing it, yeah.
I can't believe... I guess knowing how it's programmed, yeah, I guess it makes sense, but that's still weird that it works like that and it doesn't, like, stop. Oh, man.
Yeah, you saw something similar, too, with the Colonel fight as well, which is also the same kind of strat we do with any percent. except we can just do it several times. So Colonel's iframes, whenever he changes his stance, his iframes reset, and the Memorial Hall battlefield has no solid walls, so whenever there's a solid that isn't a block that X can wall jump on, the Nova Strike will still continue for the full animation. So using that, we can actually deal a lot of damage to him that way.
Yeah. We usually would use ice and then use charge ice to, like, while he's jetting from, like, the center and teleporting to the right, so that the drop ice fangs will drop from the ceiling and hit it multiple times. But just let him get in the corner and then Nova Strike him to death is just as good.
Got
So,
it.
yeah, you can get up here a little bit faster than the elevator, but really the only time save is making sure that you get in here first. It doesn't save a huge amount of time, especially if you want to pick up the pickups on the way up, because you're feeling a little bit less confident. This guy is kind of boring.
This is Power Ranger Dapu Mushroom, as I like to refer to him, because the voice actress behind Split Mushroom actually was one of the main characters of the Super Sentai original version of what became Power Rangers Turbo, a character known as Dapu, and unfortunately not adapted to the Power Rangers equivalent, but also it doesn't seem like she's done a whole lot of voice acting roles in recent, because I imagine she's still alive at this point. Apparently her credit list is not that huge, and especially not in terms of very recent stuff, so I'm very curious as to where she is, but all due respect, all the same.
Fun fact, like, if you're really interested in trying to watch the Power Rangers, the Sentai version, which is the Japanese, because, like, the American version is like a half cut of, like, American actors with the Japanese suit segments. The Sentai is the straight Japanese with both the actors and the suit segments. You can actually find, like, most of those on YouTube nowadays. I've actually, like, gone through and watched a bit of the series.
Yeah, Tokusatsu from Shout Factory is also a good way to watch Tokusatsu from Japan these days as well, so big shoutouts to them.
It's a really cool flashback watching stuff like that, not really having to, like, pay or find it or anything. It's super neat.
This stage. Yeah, it's run by a bird, and birds are jerks. What else is there to say? Well, the flight armor, ride armor variant here is actually really cool. We don't see it all that much, but you notice that I can air dash with it, and it also has this really solid homing three-way shot. The problem is, if I'm stuck on the ground and the game recognizes it, then, yeah, I am basically going to not be able to move. That is
so if you're
no
yeah,
good.
if you're fully charged, that mech will not move at all. So, and luckily we get to skip because the armor upgrade or buster upgrade is at the top of that spike hole that leads off screen. Yeah, getting up there is, like, in theory easy, but try and do it yourself and you're gonna hate this game. It is one of the, like, premier killing features in this game. Both casuals and speedrunners alike, because if you put the spiderweb a little bit too deep into the spikes, you jump into the spikes. You put it a little bit too far out, then you jump into the opposite wall of spikes, which is kind of rough. Storm Owl here is a fairly interesting boss. Luckily, we have his weakness, so we can do that.
That went very nicely, and the best part is being on the top platform means I get to teleport out a little bit faster too, so.
Just like the good old X1 centering X first, so you don't have to walk into the warp.
Pretty much. And with that, those
Yeah.
are all 8 Mavs.
Normally we have to do Storm Eagle really early to get the Buster upgrade, so Storm Eagle is a much longer, drawn-out fight.
Now we begin the late game. With that,
Ready.
well, not much to say here for Spaceport. It's actually pretty well regarded despite being a very short level, and yet part of the appeal to it is the platforming aspect of it, so yeah, I very much agree with this. I do think Spaceport is a really nice starter to the late game, and just a nice way of showing the sense of urgency. Because the plot of this game, for those unaware, is that the Repliforce, a Reploid army, has been branded Maverick due to the Sky Lagoon incident for the intro stage, and now we've been essentially fighting most of their forces. Some of the bosses, though, aren't from the Repliforce. You notice that their health bars had a different icon to them, which alluded to something else. Who that is, I have no idea, but I sure as hell could not imagine it being Sigma, because this game takes place after
Definitely,
Extreme
yeah.
2. And,
Definitely not Sigma.
No Sigma, never.
he's...
Show you no mercy.
Now get ready! I love that voice line. Yeah, Mega Man 8, we actually brought that up a little bit. The voice cast is completely the same in English dubs. In fact, when hired, they cast for both games at the same time and did them within the same recording sessions, apparently. Something like that. According to what Ruth Shiraishi, the voice of X and Mega Man from both games, had said in an interview.
Tried going for that Fang hit that I was mentioning earlier, but it's not that easy because this boss is pretty much RNG. He's a pretty heavy reset point. Both kernels can lose you a ton of time in a regular run.
Pretty much, yep.
I mean, pretty much any category. This one's worse because, like you said, we can't really abuse Nova like we did in the mini fight.
Yeah. And one other thing is that, yeah, with Zero, he doesn't actually fight Colonel at the Memorial Hall. No, he just gets an anime cutscene and skips that entirely.
Yeah, Zero just gets to skip a boss because reasons. They're friends, dude. Didn't you know?
You know, what's funny is that when I was first introduced to Colonel, it was through what I originally grew up with for Mega Man, the Battle Network series. And that counterpart of Colonel is much cooler than this one, if I'm being completely blunt.
Battle Network series is dope overall.
I'm gonna recycle you.
I really enjoy that Colonel too. Honestly, I had a hard time picking between Birdman and Colonel when they started doing multi-versions of Mega Man Battle Network.
So yeah, this is Double. He's weak to Double Cyclone, wouldn't you know it? And he's also the very same person that was in the mission control with us. Yeah, who would have thought that this whole time a rookie Maverick Hunter named Double happened to be a double agent?
Named Double. Yeah.
No, that's not foreshadowing in the slightest. No.
My name is Turncoat. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what?
My name is Backstabber. Nice to meet you.
But everybody calls me
Backstabber
BS. We have some time for some announcements if you got any, by the way.
Okay, perfect. So, actually, in line with chatting about old tokusatsu shows and stuff, we do have a poll open currently for the Power Rangers Time Force run that's coming up after this. It is for, specifically, the Ranger color, and there hasn't been a lot thrown into this just yet. There are 5 colors you can choose from. Only 2 of them have had any donations, and they are yellow in first place at $10 and green in second place at $5. Red, blue, and pink don't have anything yet. So if you have a favorite kind of Ranger, favorite color of the armor or anything like that, they're snazzy weapons. I'm not sure what all Time Force really gets, so I'm excited to learn while we're watching it. But if you have a favorite, definitely get a couple bucks in. It is very, very easily snipeable right now. So if at any point you were thinking about doing it, now's the time. Like Tempest was saying earlier, it seems like this category is shorter than the estimate by a decent bit. So you don't actually have as much time as you may think to get this in. So definitely get those in soon.
Ooh, okay, got him. Yeah, that was General.
Hey.
General is... He could be a bit of a RNG tester with some of the moves. Like, some of the strategies you use against him are... I mean, yeah, it differs between character. The fist pattern is actually something we really want to see for Zero. But, yeah, no, that's... For X, it's just a matter of how many hits can you get in and can you get him fast enough.
Yeah, X is like a test of endurance. Can you kill them before they kill you? Zero can like glitch out his first slash so that you can just spam damage over and over again to just melt bosses' HP bars if you do the inputs properly. So Zero can do a lot more damage, but you have to be right in the boss's face. So if you're not doing it right, you end up getting yourself killed. X is a slobber knocker pretty much, and you'll notice that when we're using the regular strats, our HP gets melted pretty quick, which is why the ultimate is very nice. The Nova is always invincible, so it's a very nice weapon to have. in our tool belt, so it gives us a get out of free jail card sometimes. We're gonna try for this again, where we want to try and Nova him like off screen, and there you go. Not an insta kill, but that was a fair amount of damage.
Close enough.
I did want to have him
took about a
showcase
third.
the weakness animation just for the hell
fall
of
on
it.
the ground, yeah.
Yeah, that was intentional.
So, if you hit the splash actually hits his spider silk, it'll make him drop on the ground. So he takes a little bit of damage from getting hit by it, and then contact damage when he hits the ground. There's also another boss in the series that has the same thing. Hornet from X3. If you fully charge the gravity well, you'll make him drop on the ground, and actually landing on the ground is what does damage. Fun fact with that one, it actually glitches out his iframe, so you can shoot him again. X3 is a really weird game where iframes are kind of meaningless for a lot of the bosses. Many of them
You would know a thing or two about that, having put a little bit of focus on that lately.
Yeah, X3 I picked back up for a marathon, but it's a fun game. A friend of mine asked me to start teaching him, so I ended up learning it on and off. It's a really fun one, but it can be brutal. The early game is not easy in X3, but it kind of like, it's a roller coaster. You get over that initial hump, and then it's just all free, and then you get to the end game, and Kaiser Sigma has got the worst hitbox I've ever seen in a boss ever.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea how much it took me as a kid to take on that boss. I don't even know if I ever beat it. Ugh.
There's a couple of times where like I've been in the like room where like just everybody's hanging out and practicing or just playing whatever, and I've seen a lot of people suffer at that boss, and I've done my best to be like, all right, look, here's the best tips I can give you. Aim above, take it slow, don't let this stuff hit you because it does like 7 damage, which is like half of your starting out. Luckily, X4 is a much more fair game. Speaking of, actually, one of the other things we didn't really touch is the sub-tanks in X1, 2, and 3. You can only fill if you have full HP, but in the PlayStation version, you can fill that when you pick it up regardless. So that's one of the nice changes. I actually didn't even realize that until the previous marathon I did with Tempest. It got pointed out to me, and I was like, oh, that explains why it's always full. Huh.
Yeah, and on top of that, it does give us one nerf. That being full HP recoveries only count for small HP fills for the sub-tank. So it is a catch-22. The nice thing about X7 after X6 is that it did do that again. It started doing full HP recoveries for your sub-tank. The only thing is it goes back to you need full HP in order to fill those up, but the sole exception being full HP recoveries will still get you sub-tank full no matter what.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird subtleties that like you just have to learn from each individual game in the series. One game does this, the next game does that, and there's barely any consistency in the weird quirks of it.
I'm gonna try and survive this on low health, by the way.
Says the man with Nova Strike.
Well, it's still faster to get him with lightning webs, so
Yeah, I know. I'm just shitting it up here. I'm being a little bit rude. So the reason that this is faster is because you hit him with this, he does the animation drops, and because he's locked into the jumping animation, you can hit him again after he loses invincibility. So you can get 2 hits for each one cycle here. So it does a lot more damage. Normally, the boss weakness does put them in an invincibility state that's longer than your Buster Shot. So you tend to not want to use it. Each boss is kind of a case-by-case with literally every of the X games. Some of them, it's ridiculous, and other ones, there's some sort of bypass or it just doesn't function properly.
one other thing that, in terms of like functioning, I did want to bring up was earlier when I got the failed attempt with the ultimate armor code. What I was trying to do was press the select button. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna wanna yeah. So you can
the half is a good call.
You can go back to the title screen without having to use the Legacy Collections menu. It is possible to press select on the weapons screen. Yeah. Because that's why the game has that option of loading your previous save file or rather your quick save, whatever you were doing most recently. That's what that's for. It's just not easy to do so when you rely on memory cards or whatever per se.
Yeah, I was just about to get. I was like, that's the one big difference is like X4, 5, and 6. You save on the memory card, where like 1, 2, and 3 have a save feature. Fun fact: there's a PlayStation and Saturn version of X1 that has some significant differences, and I never thought it could use the actual memory card feature. Then I was like fiddling around with it when I was relearning it. And I got into the memory card menu after like years of just thinking that wasn't the thing. But pretty much all of them nowadays have a save feature built in through the Legacy collections because there's 2 or 3 different modern ports. The Legacy collection is the most modern one. I think there's a Classic collection from back in the day, which is a slightly different version. And you just need to reach out to the community if you want to speedrun a specific one, because each one of the versions have their own quirks.
I'm on pace. I am very much on pace.
Nice. Well, that explains why you were being greedy with the health. I would have gone back up on the last 2 fights. But it's a good call to use the sub-tank in that case.
Yeah,
so
the nice thing is that you do get refilled entirely once you move into the final room, which, by the way,
phase, yeah.
Sigma, oh my god, he's back!
Oh no!
Oh,
Wait, he's got a scythe. He's so cool. Forget about it. It's
Is
fine
that
he's
the
back.
Grim Reaper?
He's learned to fly! Cheater! Yeah, so this phase we have to fire. It's just kind of how the game is developed. Luckily, this isn't as ridiculous as like X1, where the final phase is only weak to Armadillo's weapon. It's at least the first phase, so you're not like super locked out if you mess it up. And they give you a full weapon refill right before you get in the room. On top of, I think, loading into this area just refills your stuff anyway. So it's kind of weird that they dropped the capsules. The HP makes sense to refill your sub-tank, though. And that guy's dead.
Casually, I remember losing. I ended up breaking a controller over this.
Oh, dude,
this
yeah.
particular part coming up. So.
I can't play like fighting games because I would definitely break controllers. These bosses are not easy.
No.
This is like, this gets into the like NES hard territory type thing where Mega Man, for final bosses, Mega Man has some unreasonably hard final bosses. This one in particular just is super rough because it's very hard to like maintain a state where you just can avoid 100% taking damage. And then there's a lot of like silly nonsense you have to do if you want to like optimally do this. It's like this phase right here, you can do some like bonking here to reset your hover animation. I guess that's one of the other things we forgot to address. The boots here can allow you to hover, which is a unique feature in this version. It does proliferate into some of the later ones. All right, we're gonna have to like abuse Nova Strike here and be careful. So we're a little bit in the kind of a rough spot.
This is not. Ah! Oh man, that was unfortunate.
It happens. This is the fight where like you really want to make sure you hold your sub tank, and unfortunately we weren't able to fully optimize on that.
That's my bad, really.
I mean, it's fair. You see a PB pace, and sometimes your brain just does the thing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this because I do have a little bit of spare time, but I'm just gonna be careful just for the sake of not.
Yeah, let's not go for the soul body bombs next time, so you can save your HP.
There was the any percent strat that I could have done with soul body, and like that would have been fine enough. But like, yeah, I don't know. I've practiced that other strat long enough that I didn't want to like. Yeah, that you know.
I mean, the soul body is really juicy. It speeds up that corner phase. It's much faster than handling him normally.
All right, let's see if I can do it this time. Yeah, that's it.
At least they're kind enough to give you like a pity drop here. It's not a huge one, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
That's just them admitting they know that this fight was friggin' ridiculous.
And they always do have it a little consistent with which order of the fights happen. So
Nice.
you're always going to get the Crown Ugly Head Sigma first, and then it will switch to Gunner Sigma.
Yeah, it cycles top left, or top right, bottom left, etc., etc.
Focus right here. That's the any percent strat, by the way.
Unfortunate. A lot more hits than we'd like to. Ideally, we get a good corner phase here. We want him to blow, not suck. What a
Pretty
shot.
much. Just like Dustman.
That's what she said. Wait, what?
Okay, thankfully he hasn't also gone into that move where he has a cue that he says the end or Awarida. That's a much faster move than
Get less damage, yeah. I think it's time to use the sub tank.
I agree. I do agree. Because it's not getting any better than this. So let's see what we got. I got one more. Damn it! Oh.
Oh, rocked by the blocks. Unfortunate.
Well, now we're not. Now PB pace is kind of ruined. But you know what? You know what? That's okay. Because honestly, we're still clearly going to finish this run. That's all I could really ask for.
It gives chat more time for donations.
I was just going to say, we appreciate you giving chat more time to get more their donations in for the Power Rangers color poll. So come on, chat, get some stuff in there.
All right. I'll give my 2 cents. So green is usually my favorite color, right? So I'm always down for some good old Green Rangers. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that the Time Force Green Ranger had the psychic ability, so I thought that was always cool.
Green is currently in second
hit,
place.
nice.
Only $6 would put Green in first. Just for any chatters that want to, potentially.
I can't believe there's no Red Ranger. I thought was down for the red, but I guess not.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, the fun
No
fact
red, no
about
blue.
the Game Boy Advance Time Force game, which is a totally different game than this one, is the fact that the intro stage has you start off with the original Red Ranger from Time Force, which that's always a nice little cue.
That was unfortunate getting napped right before we tried to throw the Nova out.
Yeah, throwing in the Nova destroys the heads faster and makes the transition between phases.
Phase up, yeah. The problem is like Nova is kind of like billed as, oh, this is just you're unkillable. The problem is that like the beginning of the animation does have some startup, so you can very easily take some damage. Hopefully this is a little bit more passive this time. Corner Sigma isn't too bad if you take it a little bit slow. The problem is the shoot. That bottom left corner Sigma can be very awful if he does the suction attack, because you're pretty much guaranteed to get hit.
Like, it's preferred if you're playing as Zero, but like, even then, that's keeping in mind. There it is! He said the thing.
That's never happened before?
Nope.
No. That's
But that
definitely
would-
happened before. That doesn't never not happen before.
Like, it was a matter of time because he was being very nice about it prior, but now he's like, alright, Steve, you're not getting my sympathy anymore. Case in point!
Like, as long as you're not on the floor, you don't take damage from that, so it is a preferred state of to, like, make sure we get through this fight, guaranteed. Wow, 3 blows. That pretty much means it's impossible to die to that guy. Let's go.
Ah, now he's just constantly using that move, though. But hey, one more hit should do it, so...
Yeah, I think we're 2 hits away, but with the amount of HP we have a little bit in the sub-tank too, so...
Nice. Finish off with a Nova.
There we go.
Hey.
GG.
Alright, time will be
So,
coming up.
timer does stop in a bit. We actually have to jump up on this platform on the right side, then the timer will stop. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
Alright.
Anyway.
And... time!
Hey.
GG's.
GG, yeah.
So my PB is a little over is a sub 48 minute, but honestly, that was still a very good run, and the fact that I got a really generous gold split during the boss rush honestly means that oh wait, I skipped the cutscene. Sorry, Ultra.
What am I fighting for? Wait,
Not
that's
even
not
that
this
one.
Yay!
He loves that cutscene too. Shout out to Ultra Uberness again. Yeah, no, that was Mega Man X4 though. Thanks again for Speed Docs to having me and putting up with my shenanigans. It's always nice to help them raise money. You last saw me on the Speed Dogs event where I was helping raise money for Sable. Yeah, this was nice to get a run in for all that jazz. And yeah, I mean, this is a great Mega Man X game. I highly recommend that anybody that's into this series and wants to give speedrunning a try, give this one a shot. Yeah, there are some beginner's traps in there, like Jet Stingray's stage would definitely be one of them, because that's all a matter of memorization.
Yeah.
But like, as long as you know the overall gameplay and as long as you get comfortable with it, it becomes a little second nature, which is basically how I came to get good at this game. And there's always the community that's willing to help you out, myself included. So if you want to give us a buzz, you want to try this for yourself, check out the Mega Man X Speedrunning Community Discord server. You can find a link to it on megamanleaderboards.net, where the About tab can also get you to the other franchise sub-series communities as well. And yeah, shout out to all my homies of X4 and anybody watching much. Aside from that, Happy and Sid, feel free to plug yourselves, and then I will do the same before we sign off.
Go ahead, Sid.
I mean, when I do run, it's usually RPG stuff. So if you guys want to catch me doing Breath of Fire here soon, follow me. I do usually do Final Fantasy Remake Rebirth and some action RPGs, but hey, it's been a hot minute since I've done Mega Man X. I do like coming back every once in a while. I won't say no to it, given the proper pressure.
And I am OG Happy Dude. The OG stands for old guy, and I'm a retro variety speedrunner. As of late, I've been streaming casual stuff like Dead by Daylight and Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst, but I might be diving back into some actual speedrunning content here, because after watching this run, I think I might actually learn Ultimate Armor now. So
We got it!
You can check me out absolutely everywhere as OG Happy Dude, and I'll look forward to seeing y'all.
Absolutely. And my name is Tempest Mask 1000 here on Twitch. I have a YouTube channel of the same name. I try to post any non-stream runs that I can manage, and I'll try to eventually get back to content there. For now, you can also follow me on Twitter at It'sTempestSteve. I'm acting well, and Blue Sky, follow me at Tempest Mask. That's about it for me, so best of luck to the rest of Speed Docs. You know I'll be checking you all out. But thank you so much for tuning in, for meeting the incentive. And until we next meet, ciao, Michi.
Yeah, thank you for a great run, Tempest, and thanks to OG Happy Dude and Sid for hanging out and doing the comms. That was super cool to watch, and thank you, chat, for hitting the incentive. We are gonna cut over to a short break here while we get ready for the Power Rangers Time Force run. So hang out through a couple of bumps, and we'll catch you on the other side.